Welcome to the Two Geeks and a Microphone podcast, your one-stop shop for television, movie, video games, comic books, book reviews, and more. Now, without further ado, here's Steven and Mike.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Two Geeks and a Microphone show. My name is Stephen Boster, along with my illustrious co-host, Mr. Michael Shanks. Mike, say hey to everybody.
Good morning to all you geeks out there in Geekdom land.
All right, everybody, we have a special guest with us. I'm like, Mike, who is that on the screen with us?
We have joining with us Sensei John Keller.
John, welcome, my friend.
Hello, everyone. How are you?
Good morning, John.
Good morning.
We are so glad you're with us today. For those that may not remember, John joined us the last time we did Cobra Kai, and we had a great time. He had some incredible insights about Cobra Kai, and so we thought, what? We'll just bring John back. So, John, we're glad you're here with us. Mike, with our normal craziness each week, everyone, if you missed it, we had a crazy week because we actually shared, how shall I say, an extra special episode this week. We did our Andor review of the first 3 episodes, and so everybody, if you've missed that,
go back and listen to it. It was pretty good.
It was. We did the live show Thursday night, and then we
launched it yesterday.
We launched it yesterday. Yeah, we went ahead. Mike got the audio done quickly. So nice job, Mike.
That was pretty easy though, because we didn't have any real flaws in that one, so I didn't have to worry about chopping it up and bringing in different parts of different recordings. So I was able to just clean up the beginning and end of that and get it out. So
bada boom, bada bing.
Yeah, bada boom, bada bing. Exactly.
Well, hey, what's on the news that's happened this week? I'm curious to see what you found out.
So I don't have a whole lot of news. Probably the most interesting. Well, there's 2 interesting things that I got. One, it turns out that Constantine 2 has been greenlit. It is a go, which is pretty funny because our Constantine episode that we did, 2-3 weeks ago? I forget.
Yeah, it's within the last month.
Yeah. It kind of got exploded in downloads this week, and I'm like, what's going on here?
Right. It may be the title that we called it. Blimey, mate, it's Constantine.
Which, by the way, Brenda pointed out, that's Australian, not British. Anyway.
Well, okay. Maybe my accent style is. No, I thought he said blimey.
I don't remember.
He says blimey, mate. I think he does say that. Yeah. But I will say, didn't we talk about Constantine 2 in that, thinking,
yes, we did.
Going to be, there was talk, and
we were anticipating.
He was really trying to make it happen, but never could.
Yeah, that was part of the discussion of how we felt about the idea of a second Constantine with Keanu Reeves, being the fact that we're pretty big Matt Reeves fans. Oh, I also read that supposedly Matt Reeves is hanging up the trench coat, which bums me out, because I think he is Constantine. So
he did a great job. I didn't really like his portrayal in Legends because it was a little more campy.
Well, I think that was more Legends, though. I don't think that was him. I think that was the direction Legends was going. I thought he was better in his own series, but
he was what?
Yeah.
Much more
better. Cheers.
Ching, cheers.
With my cold brew coffee this morning. Anyway. Constantine was pretty big news this week. The other big news is apparently James Earl Jones is now retiring.
Wow.
Yeah. He's 91 years old. Give him a break.
Right?
Yeah.
Actually, I thought he already retired, but
well, apparently he hadn't. Actually, I think his voice was used. Well, I know it was used in Rogue One, but that was 2016.
And what about Obi-Wan?
I think his voice was used in Obi-Wan also.
Sounded like it.
Yeah, it did. But he has given his rights, the rights to Disney to use his voice, so they will continue to do it digitally. Kind of like what they did with Luke Skywalker in The Mandalorian, because they used his voice digitally from a younger version of him, so on and so forth. So it's not like we're not going to get James Earl Jones in the future. We're just not going to get the James Earl Jones.
Right. Okay. Quick question. Outside of Star Wars, what has been your favorite James Earl Jones movie or TV show or?
All
right, I'll give mine while you guys think.
Go ahead.
Okay.
The Sandlot.
Okay.
I loved him in The Sandlot. I absolutely adored him in The Sandlot. I was like, this is Darth Vader? What?
I get a lot of grief because I've never actually watched The Sandlot. Now,
as a baseball fan,
I know.
Man, The Sandlot's awesome.
But he was also great in Field of Dreams. So
yes, people will come, Ray. People will come.
That's right. If you build it, they will come. That's right.
Brenda says guest appearance on Big Bang Theory.
Yes, that would be my next. Yes. Yeah. He had a great guest appearance on Big Bang Theory when Sheldon comes up to him and is just freaking out and just got that goofy smile that Sheldon gets, that was a fantastic one. And then, of course, James befriends him and takes him down to Tijuana. Bang, bang. If you haven't seen the episode, go find it. It's hilarious. It's a great appearance.
Oh, yeah.
And speaking of baseball,
yes.
Albert Pujols hit his 700 last night. Yay!
Nice.
Yay! Nice. This is a geek show, not a sports show. Cut it out.
Hey! We brought up baseball. Albert hit it. He's in the 700 club. I'm happy. All right.
That's funny. Okay, cool. All right, those are great. Okay, are we ready for our Geek Dar? What's on our Geek Dar?
Let me play our stinger.
All right.
Well, you don't need that, Private. We're right here. Now, what is it? Now, what is it? I'm having trouble with the radar, sir. What's wrong with it? I've lost the bleeps, I've lost the sweeps, and I've lost the creeps. The what? The what? And the what? You know, the bleeps, the sweeps, and the creeps. It's not all he's lost.
I love it every time. All right. What's on our Geek Dar? Who wants to start?
What's on our Geek Dar? I'll go first.
Okay.
Much of my Geek Dar this week was really about Andor, spending time, watching Andor and that. So everybody can watch the whole.
It's not what it should have been. Sorry. Am I not allowed to start yet?
No, I want to rehash that later. But there is a guy on YouTube. So this is my Geek Dar in relation to our Andor show, and people can re-listen to that. But there's a guy by the name, he's an impressionist by the name of Charlie Hopkinson. And he does impressions like he'll put a picture up, you can watch a show, and he'll do like dozens of impressions within just a couple of minutes. He'll hold up a card or they'll show a picture and he'll say a phrase or something. It's pretty funny stuff. Well, he just started in the last few months doing different, like this actor roasts or something. So he's using deep fake technology to do his face like he's in his living room kind of a thing. So, and then he will do the voice impression and he will roast shows like Gandalf roasts Amazon's Rings of Power.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
But he started this week. He did Qui-Gon Qui-Gon roasts Andor episode 2, that was today, or Obi-Wan Kenobi roasts Andor, kind of a thing, and they are absolutely hysterical. And then some, like in this, the most recent one I watched, it was Obi-Wan Kenobi in, watching Andor. Then his dad comes in, which is Alec Guinness. Obi-Wan Kenobi comes in, and then Qui-Gon's Force Ghost is sitting on another couch, and then all of a sudden you would see the whole Anakin Skywalker. He would have phrases and stuff like that.
Nice.
So I've enjoyed. They're not real long; they're real short. But I love the whole deep fake. The deep fake facial stuff that he does with them, and then just the banter that they do. And it's pretty good. So they'll watch a little clip of the show, they'll show it, and they may say something about it. He also did Tyrion Lannister roasts the new Game of Thrones show, kind of a thing, and so that's what he started to do, and it is, I think he's found a good niche on that. So. Anyway, so yeah, so that's my thing. Oh, what did Brenda say? Shirt, so he can't Steven skip.
Brenda wants us to come up with a shirt for Steven Skip, I think.
Oh, the Steven Skip shirt. I like that. I will write that down.
Steven with his pencil. So, John, do you have anything for Geekdar? I mean,
not a whole lot lately. I have been. Peripherally, I've been still kind of wondering about if I'm going to dive into Rings of Power or not. They keep releasing it every week, and it keeps showing up every time I open up Amazon Prime, and they keep trying to get me to watch it, but I still haven't quite clicked on it yet. I'm still, I don't know what I am on it. I've heard so many mixed things about it. I'm going to have to just watch it to make up for myself on it. But beyond that, the only other thing that was on my Geekdar was hearing about Andor and, of course, Cobra Kai lately.
Okay, cool.
Right.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'm still on the offense about Rings of Power, too. I haven't.
Have you watched any episodes, Mike?
I have not. I just. But I did start watching Sandman. And actually, I'm enjoying the Sandman. I think
that's what I've heard about Sandman. I haven't seen it myself, but I've heard some good things about it.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I'm liking it so far. I think.
Once I got to through episode 3, then I'm like, okay.
Of the Sandman.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I've only watched the 2 episodes. Actually, I really liked the first 2 episodes. I thought they were really good.
The 3rd episode is the best for me so far.
And the
first 2 were okay.
I started reading the comic book. I was reading it on the DC app. Actually, it's almost identical to the comic book. I'm really impressed with how close it's coming. But then again, the comic book was written by Neil Gaiman, and the show is done by Neil Gaiman. So that's probably why, he's taking creative control. Other than that, on my Geekdar, I have a couple things. I watched the Obi-Wan Kenobi documentary on Disney Plus.
Oh, how was that?
That was really good. I enjoyed that. I love seeing Hayden Christensen and Ewan McGregor together. Some really nice, almost brotherly moments between the two of them. Really, really good. And they show them, I love it, like Ewan is standing in the volume and he's watching scenes from Revenge of the Sith in the volume. I mean, how incredible is that altogether, And Hayden walks in and he's like, I was just rewatching a few of our scenes together. Like that wasn't set up or anything.
Right. It was set up, right.
But it was a nice moment. It was really good. Yeah. And it was so funny because they showed the scene, I have the higher ground. And Anakin or Hayden goes, "You even warned me." And he goes, "If I had $1 for every time I heard, I have the high ground."
Yeah.
It was so funny. I highly recommend it. It's a great documentary.
Hey, Mike.
Yeah.
High ground.
Right now, we got the high ground to John. Other than that, I got two other things on my Geekdar. Last night I stumbled onto a YouTube video. And unfortunately, I should have wrote down the name. I didn't write down the name, but it was a animation. Well, it was a 3D animation done with Real Engine, which actually is a software my company's looking at. But anyway, it was done with Real Engine, and it's the AT-AT Walker scene from Empire Strikes Back, but it's taken from the perspective of the snowtroopers inside the AT-AT. And it is freaking hilarious. It is so funny.
Oh, nice.
It's about a 10-minute video. I'm not big on fan films. I don't watch a lot of them. I mean, to me, the ultimate fan films is Troops. That is the best, and I don't think anyone has topped it since, in my opinion.
Yeah. I know which ones, because it's the Unreal Engine.
Yeah, Unreal
that's
Engine
used for games.
Yep.
And it's the Stormtrooper stories.
Well, it's these are snowtroopers.
They're doing snowtroopers.
Yeah, this one, and they're
done other ones too.
Well, they're inside the AT-AT, and it's from the scene, when Luke, because he even describes exactly what's happening with Luke, because supposedly he's tapped into one of the driver's visuals or something, so he's being able to see everything outside the AT-AT, and he's describing the entire scene of Luke flying around the one AT-AT, with the cable and taking the AT-AT down and everything, and he even describes Luke's snowspeeder going down, and the AT-AT just about stepping on it, and he's freaking out. Get out! What are you getting back into the snowspeeder for? Yeah.
So it's probably hard to read. AFK is because I've watched some of these and they're great. And it is The Walker, a Star Wars short film made with Unreal Engine 5. AFK, the web series. It's only been a month and it's almost got 1 million views.
Yeah, it's hilarious. It is so funny. So I highly recommend that.
I am going to put that on my to-watch list. Save for later.
Mm-hmm. And then I have
to watch later.
I have my comic book entry. So yesterday I picked up my comic book polls. Nice. This is part 1 in a 3-parter leading up to the new Flash movie that's coming out next year. So yeah, it's the Ezra Miller Flash and the Batfleck together.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. It's pretty good. I like it. I enjoyed it. I had seen this was coming out several months back, and then they thought it was going to get canceled, and I said, put it on my list in case it does show up.
I
don't want to miss it. And I was surprised when I went to pick up my poll yesterday, and she's like, I knew I had a customer that said they wanted it. I'm like, yeah, that was me. Pick me. So that is what is on my Geekdar for the day.
Very cool. I just want to take it one step back for 30 seconds. And I have watched the beginning of the Lord of the Rings new show, The Rings of Power. It is absolutely gorgeous. The sets are great. The images are great. Incredible. I just can't get into. I've watched just a couple of episodes, and the story is. I don't care about the characters. They haven't really introduced the characters well to where you would care about them, and I haven't decided. I do know today Angry Joe on his YouTube channel released his review of episode 5. So he's watched 5 episodes now, and he's like, "I'm done with it." Wow. So I really do want to like the show. It's just now that I just can't get into it, it's like falling down on my radar because there's so much other stuff. It's hard to make choices now. Well, maybe not for me, I guess, but all right. Well, with that,
you just Steven skipped through everything.
Yep.
So it begins.
We are foreshadowing, everybody. It's a literary device.
I've been foreshadowing ever since Thursday night.
Right. We did bring up today on our indoor discussion, and so we always save it for the podcast today. And so today is the reveal. John, thank you for joining us today.
John messaged me yesterday about Cobra Kai, and he started going into it. I was like, no, dude, save it for the podcast. Save it for the podcast. So I promise you, I wasn't trying to be rude. I was just...
No, of course not.
Of course, my wife does that to me, too. I'll start talking to Steven about something, and she's like, save it for the podcast. Save it for the podcast.
Right. It's so funny because sometimes I hear in the background yelling.
That's funny.
Which is why we have a T-shirt that says "Save it for the podcast."
Save it for the podcast.
That's right. That's right. All right, Mike. Do you want to start us off on our wonderful journey today into Cobra Kai?
Cobra Kai.
Hiya!
So we are going to be talking about season 5 of Cobra Kai. We did cover 1 through 4 with John in a previous episode. I don't remember how long ago that was now. But John recently finished it. I recently finished it. Somebody recently, Steven, skipped through it. I won't mention names.
I finished it.
You Steven skipped through the whole freaking season.
Let me explain. Okay, everybody, if you're listening to this, here's what happened. So I started watching it.
Let me guess. Time issues, right?
Yes. Come on, spoiler alert. Yeah.
It's not a spoiler.
So I started watching. I got probably about 10, in all openness, I probably got 10, 15 minutes into the episode. And I'm like, I don't want this drama. I mean, we're 5 seasons in. So not only did I did not Steven skip like my 15-second skip that I normally do.
No, you did full episodes.
I did probably the biggest Steven skip known to mankind, which I skipped all the way to the last episode, and I watched the last episode.
Dude, that's like opening a book and skipping all the way to the last chapter and just reading the last chapter.
What's wrong with that?
Because you don't know anything that happened. That's what's wrong with it. You don't even know what happened in the season.
Here, listen, the last episode told me everything I needed to know.
No, I guarantee it didn't.
Say anything. I'm a spoiler. But
you don't know anything.
Hey, everybody! Just so you know, it is going to be beat up on Steven Day.
Darn right it is. I was like,
biggest Steven skip known to mankind happened when he got to Cobra Kai.
You're lucky Brenda's not in on this,
right? Yes, it was about time. Is like, I don't know if I can. I have 10 episodes of this. I'm like, no, skip.
It was good. It was a good season. I mean, I have issues with the end of the season. I'll admit that. I won't go into it just yet. But overall, I thought the season was really good. I really enjoyed it. You had a lot of great characters brought into this. And again, I've not watched all the movies. I've only watched the first movie. And, even the bringing in these characters that were in some of the later movies of Karate Kid, I thought they were fantastic. I loved them. What's his name? Chosen. I absolutely love him. He is awesome. I think he's become one of my favorite Cobra Kai characters. He was just amazing. And Steven, you wouldn't understand because you didn't watch the whole season.
I am gasoline. Boom.
Yes. I just love how they brought him in, and he's just immediately, I'm going to protect the family. I love that his family, just narrative of I have to protect the family, and basically adopting Daniel's family as his own, pretty much. I love that. It was incredible. See, Steven, see what you missed?
Yeah. There's some really good stuff in there. You're right, Steven, there is some drama in there, but it does have its payoff. It does have its payoffs. And you missed a lot of the great trademark humor.
Yeah.
There's a lot of trademark humor that Cobra Kai, the writers, are known for. And some great jokes. Well, we could talk about it when we talk about individual characters. But yeah, I'll get to that later. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So overall, how would you guys score it? So let's do our little scoring.
Yeah. What are we going to use for a scale in this one?
Well, obviously, I can't recommend anything.
I know.
Since I
because
you
didn't watch
episode.
it. You didn't watch it. Ooh, I know. Chosen size.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice. Okay.
I just love his choice of weaponry. I love the size. I am a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles fan, and my favorite turtle is Raphael, who carries the size. So we'll go with chosen size. John, I'll let you go first. What would your score be for this entire season?
For the entire season, I'd give it I'd probably give it about a 9.
Nice.
Out of 10, I guess.
9 out of 10.
Nice.
Chosen size.
Pretty-
Okay.
It really gets it. I'll have to see if I ever revisit it in terms of rewatchability, but it's pretty close there. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I will give it 8 out of 10. I would give it a 9, but this ending throws me off, and I'm having problems with it. Which I'm hoping we can talk this out and help me understand where in the world they're going with this, because I think they've painted themselves into a corner.
Yeah.
But overall, I really enjoyed the season. Yes, Stephen, you're right. It does. There's, of course, the drama that's been in, the last 4 seasons. It's continuing that drama, but it is a drama-driven show too.
Right.
So,
Well, all I have to say is the last episode made it all for me. So
that's because it's the only episode you watched. Oh, jeez.
But I did enjoy the last episode. I thought it was really good. So yeah. So technically,
You should have watched it like 10 episodes before that.
Yeah, I will give the last episode, just that one, because I can't say the whole season, but I would give the last episode 9 out of 10 because I got figured out what was going on in the season, and it tidied up literally what happened in the 4th season for me really well. So
you missed
even
all
addressed
this
stuff that happened in the 4th season.
You missed all the story with Silver. You missed. What do you mean? Oh, God.
You missed the trip to Mexico.
Yeah, you missed the trip to Mexico. You missed.
Is that the one where James Earl Jones was at?
Bang bang. Nice callback there. I like that. You missed the announcement of the baby.
Yep.
No, because I got it in the cool fight there at the end. I thought it was awesome. All of a sudden, there he is with there's Johnny with the ultrasound and laying next to him, and I just was like, oh, somebody's pregnant. Cool. Yep. That's all I needed.
For those of you in the future who are listening to this on the audio version, I'm rolling my eyes at him. Can you hear it?
But I got the baby nuts. But anyway, continue on. It's all right.
Yeah, some of the drama was a little over the top. I'll give it that. That gets a little cartoony in a way. You got the teenage angst, but I mean, it is partially a teenager show, so you got to give some grace for that. Oh yeah, look at him. He's just
bite my lip.
Yeah. I wish I had something to bang my head on right now.
In all fairness, I'd love to hear you guys talk about what you saw on the show, what you liked best about it, what you may have not liked about it. I'd love to hear it. Go for it. I won't interrupt. I promise. I won't make fun of anything. I promise.
I just loved the story that was going on between Silver and Daniel and Johnny. I thought it was great. I thought the tension between them was really good. I enjoyed that. I did see a great meme a couple days ago. It had the Cobra Kai poster on it, and it said 2 middle-aged men have a midlife crisis and accidentally start a gang war. Which I was like, yeah, that kind of sums the series up, really. Yeah. That's pretty good. That's not bad. But yeah, I like that. There was a couple things that I thought was going to happen that just didn't. For instance, we brought in. Now, was she related to Chosen Silver's sensei that he brought in from Japan? I don't know.
I think she's the granddaughter of Silver's instructor.
Okay, so I was maybe I got some things confused because I thought Chosen was he's the nephew of that sensei, right?
That I don't recall, and if I missed it, I missed it. I don't know if anyone in the chat,
because he talks about his uncle,
right? Lot. That you're all right about that.
Okay,
yeah.
Okay.
You're
So
right
I was taking it that he was the nephew, and she was either the daughter or granddaughter. So I figured they were related,
right?
But there was a point when he is training both Silver and Kreese in a flashback.
In the flashback, yeah.
And she is watching, and she like knocks a pot over or something like that. And Kreese covers for her because he knows she's going to get punished. Kreese covers for her, and then he winks at her. And when they showed that, they never really developed from that scene. And when they showed it, my thought was, okay, Kreese is in prison right now, and I'm thinking that Silver's bringing her in, but I'm thinking she's actually working for Kreese, not for Silver. That was my thought, because I figured what I was thinking was that Kreese had this plan that he's going to have her infiltrate Cobra Kai.
Right.
And then once he gets out of prison, she's going to help him take it back over. That was my thinking, and I think that would have been a great plot line. But
we're getting Michael's Cobra Kai theory. I love it.
Yeah, this is the way I would have wrote it. So yeah.
Kreese this season was such a frustrating character to try to. His arc is just. I'm struggling to understand it completely. They've taken so many pains throughout the whole series to make young Kreese so relatable, so likable, so sympathetic. And even you talk about that flashback, that was 1980. That was 4 years before Karate Kid.
Right.
What the heck happened in 4 years?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that's a good question. And this is where Steven inputs, I want my good guys to be good guys. I want my bad guys to be
That's right. I wouldn't say anything.
I'm just saying. If you had watched it, that's where you would be going. I want my good guys to be my good guys. See, I'm just trying to help you. Okay.
Thank you. That's you. That's a good friend. Thank you.
It's kind of a backhanded slap, but anyway.
Yeah, I got your passive aggressiveness. It's all good. Thank you.
Yeah, I'll agree. Kreese was it was difficult this season because I was really expecting Kreese to have a redemption arc is what I was. That's what I was hoping for Kreese, because I know we're supposed to dislike him. I know he's the bad guy. I know he's the real bad guy behind everything. But in the end, I want him to have a redemption. I want him to come out on the good side and actually be friends with Daniel and Johnny at the end of this. That's that. And so my thinking was, at the end of this, Kreese would get out of prison. He would join forces with Johnny and with Daniel. And then season 6 it would be kind of the war between those, with those three versus Silver for Cobra Kai to take back Cobra Kai. That's what I was which is why I was saying that I was hoping she was there to infiltrate Silver and Cobra Kai and then help John take it back over. That was my thinking. Obviously it did not play that way.
Yeah, true. Well, and that's the nature of the show is Cobra Kai. Obviously, that's what it's even called. So that can't go away. And the dojo itself has its own character in the show too.
This is true.
Oh, nice.
It's partially it's playing its part in all of these characters' struggles as you said, as the middle-aged guys age and as they struggle through going into different parts of their life and different times of their life. The teenagers are finding something through Cobra Kai as well. It has such a negative connotation with it, but again, there's so many pains that they're going through to make it sympathetic. And so I'm really curious, especially like you said about Kreese, and where it's hard to figure out where they're going to go with it, and to one, establish or reestablish Cobra Kai somehow, some way. But two, if they're, I mean, the show has so many redemption arcs in it already.
Oh yeah.
Johnny is the whole show's, the show's about him. This season, he had great. I love the way this season Johnny and Daniel switched sides.
Yeah.
As Daniel had the marital problems due to Silver's machinations, Johnny was there for Daniel's breakdown.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I loved it. Yeah. And Johnny even points it out. He's like, this should be the other way around.
Right. Right.
and my wife said Johnny cleaning up his apartment.
Yeah. Yeah.
I loved that. That was great. Yeah.
Yeah, that was.
And then Daniel shows up and he's like, what's going on here? And even his ex-wife, she knew immediately when she walked in. She goes, your girlfriend's pregnant.
Yep.
No, what did she say? She said you knocked her up.
Oh yeah. You
knocked her up. Yeah.
Wait a minute, how did you know that? You didn't watch the season.
I am clairvoyant. No, Troy was watching episode 3 last night.
Oh, okay.
And also he was, so I peeked and watched just a little bit with him. So,
oh my gosh, you should have watched the whole season. It was good.
Yeah.
That's all right. I'm enjoying
good.
Hearing from you guys. You guys are saving me 8 hours of my life, and I thank you.
Oh my gosh.
I'm really shocked my wife would actually type this out.
Right. So there's one character in the show, everybody, that this is, I don't know if I want to say that on air, but that one character at the end, they used to give him a name, something breath, that switched sides at the end was very surprising. Yes, I concur.
I was shocked when he switched sides, actually, you know. And then
Did
the
they
funny
allude to it that he was switching sides or anything, or
I didn't pick up on anything.
No, I didn't pick it up. It was a genuine surprise for me too.
Yeah, and then I loved it when he switched sides, and they're like, "What? You're switching sides?" And he goes, "Yeah, they don't call me that." And then immediately they call him that.
The guy calls him that.
Yeah, dude, this is a sign that you shouldn't have switched sides, you idiot.
Right. But they got better swag,
and they got a juice bar.
You're right, the juice bar.
Yeah, does any I've never been in the karate, type atmosphere. Does any dojo look like that? Where it's quite that?
Not that I'm aware of.
I mean,
no,
holy
most
cow.
karate dojos are in strip malls.
Yeah, right. Like Johnny had.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the way I've seen them. They all look exactly like Johnny, or they're in those small warehouse type buildings.
Right.
All I know is when one closes, here comes Spirit Halloween stores.
There you go. There you go. There you go.
That's very true. Now, I did love when the guys from the World Karate Association, when they came to check out Cobra Kai, and Danny and Johnny are there, or Daniel and Johnny are there, and there's some things that are mentioned, and I immediately went, Rocky, it's Rocky. and the guy, he's like, I love Rocky. I'm like, yeah. Because I mean, the comparison of the two dojos alone, that was right out of Rocky 4. I mean, it was identical to Rocky 4, and I loved it because you had the high tech of Cobra Kai, which matched the high tech of the Russian fighter, and then you had the low tech of what are they calling Daniel and Johnny's? Well, I guess they still were calling it Miyagi-Do or
Miyagi Fang.
Yeah, they were struggling over what to call it. But yeah, you looked at the low tech of Miyagi-Do, and it's just like, Rocky training in Russia with nothing. I was just like, yeah, this is right out. And then they played Eye of the Tiger, which was fantastic. Yeah, loved it. Yeah. See, you missed some great moments, Steven. Yeah. Of course, I will give you this, Steven. You're not the Rocky fan that I am. I'm a big Rocky fan. So for me, that was just glorious. I loved it.
Yeah, that was good.
So did they do the whole, yo, Eagle Fang?
I don't know. There were some moments where you could almost compare that. But we did get the whole, if he can change, I can change. We all can change. We did get that moment.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That moment was in there, so that was a nice callback to Rocky also.
Yeah.
Right on.
So yeah.
Right on.
Yeah.
Speaking of callbacks, did you catch, Michael, did you catch the My Cousin Vinny reference?
I don't remember. What was it?
So when Johnny and Daniel are talking to Kreese and they're trying to get him to, divulge information, he says, I got this lawyer. I know this lawyer. He's like, I want a real lawyer, not one of your greasy cousins.
That's right. I forgot about that.
I instantly thought of My Cousin Vinny. I wanted Joe Pesci to show up.
Right?
That would have been fantastic if Joe Pesci would have showed up.
Yes.
What's a grit?
He's showing up in season 6.
There's your clairvoyance.
Yeah, I don't think he's showing up in season 6 because I don't think we're really going to have any lawyers in season 6. There's not much need for him at this point. Not after what Kreese did. Oh gosh.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll go right to the end. So
yeah, let's do it.
So Kreese, he breaks out of prison.
Yep. Essentially fakes a death. Yeah.
Yeah, he fakes a death. Which when that happened, I was like, they set this all up. He's not dead. Mm-hmm. There's no way he's dead. First of all, they're not killing Kreese off. That would be stupid.
Not like that.
No, exactly. If he's going to die, he's going to die in a karate match.
Yeah.
He's not going to die. He's not going to die on a prison, a prison gurney. That's for sure.
Well, I often thought, well, as many times as he stabbed him, there's not a whole lot of blood.
True.
Well, it is television drama too. So
Now I will say, I thought Kreese's acting in the opening of that episode with him kind of crying, doing this whole thing, I was like, whoa, what's going on? And then at the end, when he was doing all that just to get close to get the key card, I thought, wow, that was pretty good acting and stuff.
I had to put that up.
Give the context for those that are listening.
My wife just posted, he's like Michael Meyer. Although nobody stabbed Kreese in the eye with a hanger, so
no.
Michael Myers did get stabbed in the eye by Laurie with the hanger, so but we'll talk about that in our Halloween episode.
Right.
Not that I don't want to talk about Michael Meyer.
Michael,
yes.
Did you notice? Now, I noticed in a lot of the scenes with Kreese this season, Martin Kove is getting up there, and I noticed the way he was filmed. I think he may be struggling a little bit too.
Oh,
as a person. I mean, I don't know if he's getting older and weaker, or obviously the fight in the prison, there was a lot of stunt double work, obviously.
Yeah.
But just in when we see him at the end, he's walking out, and his gait is not swift, to put it by any stretch.
Honestly,
he is 76 years old.
Oh wow! Yeah, he's getting up there. He's getting up there. I honestly didn't catch that, but that's a good comment. I think you might be right.
Yeah,
that would be a good reason to keep him in prison and not have to do all the martial arts work.
Right.
I could completely.
I just hope that doesn't. I hope that wherever they are going to go with him, obviously they have to go somewhere with him. I hope that doesn't force them to change a whole lot, because it does seem like it doesn't seem like they're completely writing on the fly. I know the writers have said they have a solid 6-year arc that they have planned out.
That's
so
what
I'm pretty sure all the characters, they know where they're supposed to end up.
That's what I've read. I've read that they had the entire story planned out. They knew how it was going to end. My issue is I don't understand where they go with Kreese with this, because Silver's obviously going to prison, which is great. He should go to prison for the things he did. I was pissed when he chopped Chosen, when he sliced him with the sword.
It was brutal.
That was brutal. I wanted to see Chosen just kick his ass. Sorry. It was. I was watching with my son. He and I kind of bond with the show. Yeah.
It was surprising, because most of the violence is bloodless, and when you see that, it was just like, whoa.
Yeah.
He picked it up a notch.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and I honestly thought he killed Chosen, and I'm like, if he killed Chosen, he better go to prison. That's just, now we're talking murder. This is different. But yeah, so John Kreese, now, so we got Silver going to prison, and we got John Kreese breaking out of prison.
Right.
But obviously John Kreese can't take over the dojo, because he's going to be on the run from the law. I don't understand where you go with this. I mean, you won't have.
And we haven't talked about it yet. How does Mike Barnes fit in at all?
This
they didn't
is
just
true.
bring him in for a couple episodes. I think he's going to play some part in it too.
Yeah, this is true, because Silver screwed him also.
And he stole that painting.
That was great.
Yeah,
Silver deserved that. He really did.
Yeah.
I mean, he burnt down his freaking warehouse,
his
store.
Furniture store.
That was horrible. Yeah,
horrible.
I had no idea who Mike Barnes was.
From Karate Kid 3. Yeah.
Right. And I instantly liked his character. I thought it was great. I loved it when Chosen thought they were fighting, and Chosen comes in and kicks his butt.
Yes. So someone needs to call an ambulance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he beat the snot out of Mike's guys.
On his way in.
Yeah.
Yep. And then hey, Chosen finally finds a couch that he can sleep on, and Mike Barnes up charges it.
Right.
Oh, for you $2,000.
Normally this couch is $1,500, but for you special $2,000. And I'm like, that's kind of fair.
Fair enough. No arguments.
Honestly, you probably should have upped it another $1,000 and gave those other guys some of the money.
True.
So where do you guys think it's going to go? So let's start talking maybe season 6.
That's where I'm confused. I don't understand. Because are we losing a dojo here? Are we losing Cobra Kai? Which we can't, because like you said, the show is called Cobra Kai. You can't lose the dojo. So I'm assuming she continues to run the dojo after him, or like
I would assume,
like you said, maybe this does still tie back to Mike Barnes, because Mike Barnes did sign that contract or whatever, and they made a big deal of that.
They did, yeah, they did make a big deal about talking about that. Somehow he has part of the ownership of Cobra Kai or something,
right?
Like that. Yeah.
So maybe Mike Barnes takes over the ownership of Cobra Kai, which I guess could lead Johnny back into Cobra Kai then. So, yeah, I'm not sure how this goes. I don't understand.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we got Kreese on the run.
Right. Kreese is on the run. How is he going to resurface while also being hidden at the same time?
Right.
Oh, yeah.
He can't just he just can't be out in the open in front of everyone all the time because he is a fugitive. And yeah, I don't know how where they are, how Cobra Kai itself gets redeemed, how it comes back into their lives as something positive, because that's what that seems to be the whole point of what Johnny's doing, is trying to do that. Or he had been trying to do that for so long.
Something just struck me. So, playing back to that scene, the flashback scene when John Kreese winks at whatever her name is. I cannot remember her name. The Japanese sensei. He winks at her. We still could be looking at she has infiltrated Cobra Kai as John Kreese's his
mole.
Yeah, his mole. Perfect.
Yeah.
As his mole. Mike Barnes takes control of Cobra Kai, but yet she's still running it. So in that sense, John Kreese may have control through her of Cobra Kai.
That's a good idea. I could see that happening.
That's the only way I can connect all this.
Right.
And it all plays with the little flashbacks that we've seen so far that they really haven't done anything with. Right. So,
I think that's that's very plausible.
I think
that happening.
Yeah, I think I've talked myself into a decent plot line for.
There you go. There you go.
There we go. Mike's Cobra Kai theory. You heard it here first on Two Geeks.
Well, I've been struggling.
I really hope that we see more. We saw a lot this season of healing of families too.
Yes.
The LaRussos themselves, Daniel's obsessiveness over so many years was frustrating Amanda so much, his wife. And all of a sudden it comes to a head this season and they have real problems, mostly through what Silver's doing, his manipulations. And Amanda's really convinced and understands who Silver really is. And finally there's the healing of that rift. And in the last episode, we're with you, Danny, we're supporting you. It's not, hey, cut out all this karate anymore. It's we're supporting you now and we're believing in you.
Go kick his butt.
Yeah. And Johnny is able to find the breakthrough to get Miguel and Robbie to act civil towards each other, which was great. I really appreciated that. And I think a big theme of the show is that healing of the families too. And I would love to see in season 6, I would love to see a wedding, Johnny and Carmen. That would be awesome.
That would
be awesome.
Ooh, nice theory. I like that one.
Sorry, I got distracted. I got a message from Tyler Page, who's Jason and Jimmy's phone guy on Rebel Force Radio. Apparently, Tyler Page and probably Chris Mott, which we're planning on having Chris Mott back on the show. Apparently, they're coming to St. Louis. They're going to try and see one of Albert Pujols' last games. So I was kind of arranging things with them because I really want to meet up with those guys, and that'll be fun to talk about on the show too. So, because they connect with Rebel Force Radio and everything, and this is going to be really interesting where they go with this. And I was so confused at the end of it. I'm like, I don't understand where this is going. I don't understand. But now the more I think about this with us talking this out, I think that's the only direction you can really go in. You know?
Yeah. Well, there's also going to have to be, going back to that, there's also going to have to be some way of rehabilitating the name Cobra Kai.
This is true.
Because they threw that stuff up on YouTube and now that's public.
Oh yeah, I didn't think about that because now it's gonna damage the brand.
The brand, yeah.
I didn't even. Yeah, but you're gonna have a whole season to. It's still not a lot of time, but
right.
I don't know.
I mean, if the writers are going by their script and their story that they've got that they say is solid, then they've got a plan.
I agree. Yeah. I just couldn't see it at the end of this.
Right,
it was so confusing. Exactly. I'm like, I was expecting Kreese to have a redemption story and him teaming up with Johnny and Daniel at the end of this, and then going against Silver, and then taking back Cobra Kai in season 6. And I think that would have been a great way to go. Well, at least it would have made me happy.
yeah.
I don't know about other Cobra Kai fans out there, but I just want to see John Kreese have a redemption story. That's what I like his character.
Everyone's getting redemption in the show, mostly.
Well, I don't think Silver is.
No. You have to have the irredeemable person too.
Right. And I think Silver's the perfect person for that. But why not have Kreese have the redemption?
Right, exactly.
If Johnny,
especially after like we've said before, they've gone through such pains to show him as a relatable character,
right,
and sympathetic. They obviously did not show him as such a, whatever happened between 1980 and 1984 changed him completely. So I don't know. Steven, did you see the original Karate Kid movies?
Absolutely. Except the only one I didn't see was the next Karate Kid with Hillary.
Okay, yeah. So I haven't seen that one either, even though it's part of the Miyagi verse because Pat Morita is in it. But
the Miyagi verse, I like that.
But there was some great. I know, Michael, you didn't see Karate Kid 3.
No.
But my son and I watched Karate Kid 3 a few months back, and there was some great kind of. Your Michael, you got to do your George Lucas impression. It's like poetry; it rhymes. There was some great callbacks to the fights in Karate Kid 3, where the crane kick did not work on Silver in Karate Kid 3. And Danny is able to get it to work this time. It does work this time. And in one of the fights, I don't know if you remember, Steven, in one of the fights in Karate Kid 3, Daniel in the dojo is beaten up and then is beaten up a lot, and then Mr. Miyagi comes in and takes care of business and throws into the glass, and then Silver gets thrown into the glass at the end of this episode as well, the mirror. And it was very much.
I did not catch those callbacks.
It was very much kind of consciously going back to Karate Kid 3 a lot, and I can't believe what Cobra Kai has done, because Karate Kid 3 was so lambasted, and it was seen as one of the worst sequels, and it was part of that era where everyone's taken one too many trips to the well with some of these sequels, and Cobra Kai has made Karate Kid 3 better.
So you're saying that Cobra Kai is working to redeem some of the mistakes of the past films. And, and yes, you're right. It's like poetry. It rhymes.
That's a good
so you're telling me that I shouldn't have Steven skipped through 2 and 3.
I deserve that. That was good.
But back then I didn't know what a Steven skip was. So.
There you go.
Gotcha.
I mean, I knew Steven back then, but we didn't have the option of a Steven skip back then.
Right on. Yes. I will say episode 2, or excuse me, not episode, the second movie, Karate Kid 2, that sequel, I did enjoy. And I did like Chosen as a villain in that.
Oh, yeah, he was very good.
He was a very good villain. I will say 3, I was like, ooh, we're going back to the roots, kind of a thing. Now we're back to the, the hometown and the dojo fights and stuff. And I enjoyed the villain as Silver as being a manipulative thing, and they continued that. So I thought that was really good.
I thought Silver was a great villain.
He's fabulous.
I mean, he's that guy you love to hate.
Right.
He is like Negan from Walking Dead. And Negan, I hated him. Oh, I hated him. But at the same time, I loved him. He was such a good bad guy. And I think Silver fits that role really, really well. Where John Kreese, I like him. I like him as the bad guy, but I actually want John. I'm rooting for John to have the redemption arc. Silver, I don't want a redemption arc.
No,
I want justice.
And they're not even trying to. They're not even trying to telegraph that at all. But all of these flashbacks. I mean, they cast someone as a young Kreese. There's a reason why there's so much. We get so much of his backstory that we don't for other characters, and it's got to pay off somewhere.
I agree.
So, are you saying we're getting so much creasiness? I'm just kidding.
Oh, that was painful. Where are the three geeky dads when we need them?
Right.
They're not in here today. I agree with Brenda's statement here.
John has a bit of a heart.
John has a bit of a heart. Silver, his heart is black.
Yeah. Now Silver, they do hint at some things going on with Silver. He showed up in the hospital and he saw Carmen there, and Silver's. I wonder if he's dying. I wonder if he's got some issue that he has going on that's like an incurable disease or something that's going on with him.
Okay, I didn't think about that until you just said it, because he does have that line that Cobra Kai will outlive him.
Right. And he has no legacy. He has nothing.
Right.
And that he's so obsessed about making Cobra Kai his legacy.
Right. Oh, I didn't even put that together. Ooh, that's good. That's good.
So that's another thought of where they might expand a little bit more.
And that could end up being a redemption for him too.
It could be
being,
but he may be Cobra Kai doesn't seem to be the kind of show that does death, but his redemption might come through his own death.
Right.
Like Anakin Skywalker, he's redeemed, but he dies.
Right. Yeah. I could see that possibly happening. Interesting. I didn't even think about that. Wow, that's good.
That is interesting.
Boy, you picked up on some things that whoa.
And that's why you're on the show, John. We love it.
And a lot of those insights come from my son too. He's able to pick up on some of those things too. So
he's a smart little guy.
Yeah, he is.
Nice.
Speaking of younger sons, I really like the growth in Anthony too. LaRusso's boy. Anthony.
Oh,
has
yeah. What happened with him?
We didn't even discuss him at all. Yeah, Anthony has been great through the series, honestly.
Yeah.
And
I mean, Danny had that moment. He's all quiet last season and stuff, and now Anthony's learning to live with his mistakes and learning to live with how to try to get past them, and learning to be useful in his own ways at what he's good at and stuff.
And it's funny because at the beginning of the series, Anthony is almost parallel to Johnny. He's the bad boy. He's he's the one who always makes the wrong decisions. He's just doing the wrong things. Right. And so he's very parallel to Johnny in that aspect. It's like poetry. It rhymes.
You had to get it in there a second time.
But now he's becoming more parallel to Daniel, at least the Daniel from the Karate Kid is what we're starting to see. So he's got a great story. I like him. I like that that Johnny did finally get them to patch things up. That was great. Him and Miguel. Yeah. I love that. Now they're starting to look at each other more like brothers, which is really cool. And I love the scene of him, okay, just get this out.
Yeah.
And them just fighting. It was great. It was a good.
Yeah, he tried all those other methods of trying to reconcile, and he's like, you're gonna have to fight it out.
Yeah. I mean, it was a great scene, and I like the idea behind it. Sometimes males have to be, boys have to be boys.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of what I got out of that.
Right.
They got to be boys. They got to fight this out and hash it out and figure out what their problem is. And that's exactly what they do. And they both come to the realization, wait, we're just being stupid. There's no reason for all this. And and they just kind of put things aside, and it's great. I love it. Yeah. They have a great story. Really good. Yeah. Now, I kind of like to see the same thing happen, and I guess we are starting to see that happen between the girls.
Right.
Between Sam and
Tori. Yeah.
We're kind of, but we're still getting that whole cat fight thing.
Yeah. Yeah. And I wonder too if we talk back more about the future too. Like they had that whole little mini arc where Miguel goes to Mexico, and he finds out his dad really is a bad dude. I wonder. I don't know. And Miguel just kind of leaves him. He's drinking it up, and Miguel leaves him, and he, hugs Johnny, and they go back to the States. But I wonder if he's going to come back around too.
Oh, I don't know. I think that was more of a vehicle to just drive Miguel closer to Johnny.
Oh, okay. That he may be done with.
Yeah, I don't know if they'll go anywhere else with that one. I think that was just to drive him to Johnny.
Yeah,
which is that's exactly the way that played out. Brenda brought up a great thing here too. Save the egg. I love the whole save the egg sequence. That was great.
Yep.
The
great.
training was awesome. Chosen was fantastic in that. And then when they go and infiltrate Cobra Kai and steal the video footage, and they're trying to get it uploaded, all of a sudden it strikes them. Save the egg.
Yep.
And I was like, oh, this is fantastic.
That's
I loved it.
Yeah.
That was
very good.
Great scene. One of my favorites, I have to admit. Yeah. And then Brenda said how Johnny let it slip out about the baby during the fight.
Yeah.
That was great, too.
That was awesome.
See, you missed a lot of good things, Steven.
Yeah. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
I saw the Save the Egg sequence on a YouTube clip.
Oh, gosh. It's not the
you
same.
saw all kind of things.
It's not the same thing, dude. Go back and watch the series. It was good. Or the season. It was good. It was good.
I don't have the time.
I said it the other night, and I'll say it again. You got the same 24 hours all of us do.
Yeah, I'm going to bite my tongue like I did the other day, too.
Yeah. You make time for what you want, and I made time for Cobra Kai because I enjoy it. It's a good series.
Oh, true.
I was confused by the ending. I think we've worked things out in my mind that I think so. I think I can live with season 6 now.
Yep. Well, it would also be interesting. I see the chat about the baby and stuff, and that reminded me too. Johnny keeps talking like he's going to have a boy. What if it comes out a girl?
Oh, I think it will. I think it's going
to. It has to.
It has to.
I think that's the twist to Johnny. That it's like, oh,
yeah. Yeah, I mean,
he's gonna have a little princess,
right? He's already got 2 boys, technically.
Right.
I mean, he's got both. But yeah, I think he has to have a girl. If I'm the writer to this, I'm giving him a girl because I want to see how Johnny handles a girl, and he's going to be totally different with a girl.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. He is such a guy's guy that is going to totally throw him.
Mm-hmm. He's going to become the I'm dad, and I will kick anyone's butt that comes near my daughter.
Exactly.
Oh, and can you imagine Johnny? Oh gosh, the things I said when Megan was little. Yeah, Johnny would put those things to shame, I'm sure.
Oh, I bet.
Oh, yeah.
He'll put a hash brown on it and send it to the internet.
Although he'll have to get Miguel to do it for him.
Yeah, exactly. I love all the Johnny-isms. Oh man, the episode where he tried Ubering. Oh my god.
Oh, that was great.
That was great humor. That was great humor this season. That was great. They keep giving me 1-star reviews. They keep giving me 1-star reviews. It smells like beer in here. That's because there is beer in here.
There is beer. It was so funny. Oh, gosh. And don't forget 5 stars.
Nope, you ain't getting it.
I liked it when, what's his face, the nerdy kid comes over to sell him a phone. And and Johnny's like, I don't care what it is, as long as it's under $50. Yeah,
you play Billie Eilish and he plays Billy Idol. Yeah,
yeah, that was great.
That was awesome. I almost knew he was going to go there as soon as he said "heck yeah" or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, he's gonna put on Billy Idol.
Yeah. Yeah, because there's no way Johnny knows who Billie Eilish is.
Exactly.
I mean, I only know Billie Eilish by her name.
Right.
I couldn't even identify any of her songs. So,
right.
So if I don't know her, there's no way that character knows her.
Yeah.
And I would have done the same thing, honestly.
Yep.
I would have been playing White Wedding.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh,
maybe that's a foreshadow to him getting married in season 6.
Oh, that would have been awesome. But he didn't play White Wedding. He played Billy Idol's other big hit. I can't think of it right now, but anyway, yeah, that was
Rebel
great.
Yell.
Yeah, Rebel Yell. Thank you. Yeah, which is probably his biggest hit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Johnny had some great moments in this season. He really did. And I loved his growth. His growth was great. So, yeah, overall, it was a good season. Should have watched it, Steven.
Good morning, Sage Page Omega.
Oh, there's Sage. You missed it. We talked just a little bit of Sandman during the Geekdar session. So
yeah,
you'll have to go back and listen.
We didn't spoil anything.
Yeah, we didn't spoil anything. Although I think he's watched more than I have. So, all right. Does that wrap things up for?
That wraps it up. All
right.
Nice. Well done, guys. Well done. I still say, in my opinion, episode 10 is the best.
Oh God!
Thank you for that.
Yeah, we really appreciate your input into this episode, Steven. Let's hope people don't Steven skip through our episode.
Oh yeah, that Mike guy's talking. Skip 15 seconds.
Oh, now we're really getting the gloves on. All right, or taking them off. We're going to throw down the gloves and do some hockey fighting here.
I guess it's good I'm several states away.
Yeah, we're kind of spanning the U.S. today.
We sure are. I love it.
I mean, John's on one side of the U.S., I'm in the middle, and you're on the other side.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
All right. Well, with that, man, it's been an interesting show. Thank you, John. Special guest John Keller. Thank you so much for joining us. As always, it's great to have you with us. So thank you so much for being here.
Yes, thank you
for having me.
Thank you, Sensei John.
Thank you very much.
All right, Steven, you want to give all our stuff?
Oh, yeah, sure, everybody. Hey, if you want to really check more about the Two Geeks, please check out our website, twogeeksmic.com, the number 2, GEEKSMIC.com. There is our hub. What did you say, Mike?
I started to sing the MIC.
KEYMOUSE, but that's not it. It is twogeeksmic.com. Yeah. now there's our hub for all things. You can get to our merch page. You can get to our Ko-fi page. The special thing about our Ko-fi page, real quick, is Ko-fi.com/2geeks. It's like Patreon, but we like it much more better.
Much more better. Cheers.
I just had to get that in there, get another one in there. I don't think I finished my Rockstar this episode.
I'm almost out of iced coffee.
Nice. So, Mike is doing something special for that if we are raising money to pay for our Restream subscription. And so with that being said, Mike, if we get our $500 for that, Mike is going to do what?
I will color the goatee portion of my beard orange for Halloween.
Yay! So that will be interesting, to say the least. There are some ideas floating around what Steven should do if we get that. I thought it'd be kind of fun to see what kind of suggestions
Watch
we get.
Cobra Kai.
Watch Cobra Kai. That was well played.
I'm going to take every hit I can get.
Right. So anyway, check us out on our Ko-fi page. We do some special things for our subscribers. We do have a tiered thing that's $1 a month, $2 a month, $3 a month. But we do have a special show at the $2 and $3 that is our sci-fi show, and we just released our latest one, which was on John Carpenter's The Thing.
Great movie.
Which was really good as well. So, so if you want to reach out to us with any questions, comments, funny anecdotes, you can hit us at show@2geeksmike.com, show@2geeksmike.com. All right. Well, I think I got everything. Anything else?
Nothing I can think of. So, I got to come up with a tagline. I didn't think of a tagline first. I didn't want to use wax on, wax off because I've used that before. Shoot. John, what's a good tagline I can use for Cobra Kai?
Save the egg!
Oh,
no, I'm just kidding.
There you go. Save the egg.
There you go. All right, that's it. So, over and out, and save the egg. Thank you for joining us today on the Two Geeks and a Microphone podcast. Tune in next week when we will have more news and reviews. Until then,